Good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here on a Sunday morning so early. Today is our 4th National Human Animal Bond Awareness Day, which is run in collaboration with Street Vet, the founding charity. So the aim of the day is to raise awareness of the importance of the human-animal bond and promote those who highlight it, talk about it, and it's part of their life and their job. So we are so thrilled to start the day off with Izzy. So I'd like to introduce Paul Watts and of course Izzy Watts, and I'm going to just talk about what Izzy's role was, and then we're going to discuss what Izzy does now and how she's fit into your family and your other dogs. So first of all, thank you so much for the time that you're giving us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting us.
We're also going to be talking about the National Federation of retired service animals that have helped Izzy out as well, and Paul is involved in. So we'll be talking about that. They have a stand here today. It's all about Izzy today, as you can tell. So Paul, thank you. And I'd like to ask a little bit of the history of yourself and Izzy and how you came to own such a beautiful dog.
Okay, so I know a lot of people in the police force, and many years ago I've said to the police handler of Izzy at the time, when she retires, could I possibly have a police dog?
Right.
Because I had an old Springer Spaniel as well, who the idea was when he passes at the right age, then Izzy would be retired as a replacement.
Okay. You assumed Izzy was going to be in the police force longer?
Yes, definitely.
So, yeah. So she was there 5 years, 5 months.
Yep.
And that's shorter than you were saying to me that most dogs, depending on what they've been through, it's around 12 years.
Yes.
So she came out a little bit early. Can you explain why she came out early?
So in Izzy's role, she's an explosive detection dog, worked on the Royal Estate and did a load of other things. She just gave up scent working, just didn't want to do it.
And you have an idea as to why that was?
We think, when I got her, literally a week after having her, we found that her face had swollen up because she had a fractured premolar.
Right.
Which obviously doesn't help when you've got a toothache to do scent work.
You're already distracted when you've got toothache. We all know, we've all been there, and it's not nice. So you think that might have put her off her job?
Yes, could have.
Could have, okay. So when, this is something that I wasn't aware of, so when a service dog comes out of service, there is no help financially for veterinary care, is there?
No.
So tell us what you did to ask for some help.
So as everybody else normally does, we looked online to see what help is available, if any. It's very hard to insure a retired service dog.
Okay.
Because obviously if they're like a police track and attack sort of dog to take people down, you're not going to get insurance to have in a normal household.
Right.
So we looked around and we found a police charity at the time that was willing to help and support us with the veterinary costs.
Yes. Okay. And is that what the NFRSA do as well?
Yep. Any service animal, once they're retired, they pay for all their veterinary costs to help the owners out.
Yeah, that's a huge amount as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So where are they based? They're based in England?
They're an English company.
Yeah.
They're about 5 hours away in Chestershire.
Okay. I actually have some of the numbers of what they're, going to this. So a little bit, after finding out that it was hard to get insurance for a retired police dog, Paul found the NFRSA, and they help cover medical costs if your retired service animal needs help. They don't charge new owners of retired animals. They cover more services now as well, don't they?
Yes.
So NHS, police, prison, border, fire, and many more, including dogs and horses. And we forget horses, don't we?
We do, yeah.
That they are in the services as well. So the National Foundation of Retired Service Animal is a registered charity supporting all the retired animals with their veterinary bills, which inevitably occur as they get older. So how long do people have their pets past service? Is it very dependent, or
just depends on what service they were in?
Yeah.
And how long they generally live for.
Is it just police dogs that you're aware of that you're involved with, or is it some of the other services?
Just police dogs.
Yeah.
For Izzy.
So the actual tagline for the NFRSA is protecting our protectors in their retirement. So there's a huge amount of animals out there. So it's just funded by the public.
Yes.
So what would you say to anybody who's considering supporting your charity or the one you're involved with?
Have a look how good the charity is. They don't turn anybody away that has a service dog. At the end of the day, the service dogs have done amazing work for us as members of public, and it's now nice to actually support them. So we can support the charities that help support service dogs once they retire.
Is it a lot of German Shepherd dogs, Springers, that you see?
Unfortunately, I love Springers, so I'm always looking at Springers, but it's a mixture of all dogs.
So tell us about her personality and how she's fit into your family.
So Izzy, you'd always think is very lively, being a Springer. She loves to play with balls, which is why we have no balls in my pocket, because she would just cause havoc. She just loves the attention for everybody. So if I let her off the lead, she would just literally go to you, sit with you, and just loves the attention.
Oh, that's fantastic. And she also comes to work with you now. So she's got a role, because I suppose we might think that such an active animal, once they've retired, might have behavioural problems, not doing as much, being a little bit bored or frustrated. So how does she help you?
So what I do, I run pet first aid. So rather than having stuffed dogs to bandage up and practice on, we're using real dogs. Izzy loves to pretend she's injured. She normally loves being bandaged up and covered in towels and blankets to keep her warm. She even knows it so well, we have a pet stretcher. She normally kicks the soft toys off the stretcher and gets on it herself.
She's so well trained.
She's well trained in that. And also I do dog training on Wednesdays and Thursday evenings. So we use Izzy on occasions to do demonstrations. So this week we were using Izzy to demonstrate about a dog's back end.
Explain.
Okay? When you do tight left corners, some dogs forget they've got a back end and it's got a turn.
Right.
So they'll sit their bum down, their head will go forward and their bum will just be dragged around.
Okay.
So we would train her to go round with her legs in tight left corners, which they would use for competitions.
Okay. And in the training, you were saying that one of the things that you're noticing is obesity in dogs.
Yes, we find a lot of dogs are overweight.
Is that, do you think, overfeeding or under-exercising?
Overfeeding, definitely.
Overfeeding. And is that because we think that they should be treated the whole time and we've got to discipline ourselves?
Yes, I think that's exactly what everybody looks at. So yeah, we do find a lot of overweight dogs coming to us.
Yeah.
And it's training the owners, and the owners are the harder ones to train than the dogs.
Oh, absolutely.
That we just can't keep constantly rewarding our dogs.
It's an emotional thing for us though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we, and I'm guilty of it, is, you know, looks at me and I'm thinking you must need a treat. And yeah, I'm guilty. So yes, the charity's motto is protect our protectors. So a little bit about the charity. So the registered charity has now gifted and pledged over £275,000 to animals from 8 services and has more than 650 registered animals. In 2025 alone, £117,000 was gifted. So over £50,000 in vet fees alone. So, and we know vet fees are challenging right now. As is everything, so it's not just the vet fees, but we're understanding that it's more and more expensive. So yeah, it's really amazing to know that there's a charity out there that is going to help these dogs that have, like you said, have helped us.
Yes.
How does she get on with your other dogs?
She fit in very, very well.
Yeah.
She loves them.
Does she?
She tells them off if they get too excitable for her, because obviously I've now got a young puppy who thinks she's a plaything.
Yeah.
But she will tell him off, put him in his place.
Yeah.
But they all sleep together.
Yeah.
They love each other.
You clocked something over there, haven't you? Somebody. She can hear something being chewed. So you're going to keep her active, doing your job with her.
Yep.
How many hours exercise a day does she normally get with the other dogs? Did you take them all out together?
Yes. They're always out together, and they get a couple of hours a day running around just doing dog things.
Yeah.
Which is what they need.
Did you ever want to be in the police force yourself?
No.
No, none of the services?
None of the services.
So
no.
it's just through knowing somebody who you clocked her and thought, I actually want this dog. And so for you, it was quite beneficial that she wanted to retire early.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think it's picked up enough when the dogs are losing interest in their role in the services? Or is this something that is a rarity?
I would probably say it's probably more common than we believe.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like ourselves, if you want to change your job role, you'd look for something else, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And it's no different to them. If they've been looking for drugs for all their lives, they must get bored at some point.
So tell us some of the jobs that she was doing when she was active police dog.
So she's got a vast role. So basically, she worked for the Norfolk Suffolk Constabulary. Her main role was working at the Royal Sandringham Estate. So this meant anytime the royal family stayed in Sandringham, it was her job to inspect the grounds, the home, to make sure it's safe for the royal family to come down.
Okay.
If the royals had concerts or there was concerts in the area, she'd be sent to that to check. She's done the Commonwealth Games, checked that out as well.
Are we allowed to say whether she's found things, or we're not allowed to say whether she's
To
found?
be honest, I was never even told that myself.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'd be quite worrying if she'd found loads of things like that every day.
We spoke about her obedience now, because I would have thought a dog coming out of the services is massively obedient and listening to you, but you were saying that she knows certain words and that's it.
Yes, when I first got her, I thought she was going to be the best well-trained dog ever.
Yeah.
It didn't work out to be like that. Very only select few words, but her job role she must have been brilliant at the time. So that was her training.
And how long do they train to become a police dog? Do you know how long that takes?
I think a good few months when they're young.
So they're actually trained as a young dog, and then that's their career. So they're picked young to do the role.
Yeah, and then their training is always carried on. So every so often she would go for more training, and if she then passed or failed her exams, which unfortunately she failed, then they'd either retrain, which she's had retraining several times through her life.
Right.
And then the last time that was just no, we've tried and tried, and we just can't get her to pass.
And you think that's related to pain, that she lost interest in certain aspects of her job?
It's very, very hard to say. If, as we said earlier, if you've got a toothache, it's going to affect your nasal capacities.
Right.
And dogs have got amazing nasal capacities. So
Okay.
having a massive toothache isn't going to
Affected
help.
the scent work.
Or it could just be she just didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
And are you in touch with her owner, her past owner?
Yeah, her police handler is always amazed at everything that we do. We send to her. I say last year we were on live TV,
Yeah.
which was definitely an interesting thing.
Right.
Izzy's a bit of a country girl, so taking her on a train first time, taking her in London first time.
I would have assumed that's part of her training as a service dog, to be involved in those sorts of environments.
You would have thought so.
Yeah.
But no, she's more of a country on the estates and stuff like that.
Okay.
So they were all new experiences for her. We do the Good Kennel Club Awards.
What's that involve?
So basically we have bronze, silver and gold, and we make sure our dogs work to a good level of obedience. And we got Izzy through her bronze within the first month of having her.
Fantastic.
So a bit of hard training, reprogramming her mind, and make her happy.
Yeah.
But the police said to me she'd never done anything like that, and how did I get it done so quickly?
Oh, you should be working for them.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to tell the crowd about Izzy and encourage them to get involved in the NFRSA and perhaps consider taking on a retired service animal?
So there are a lot of dogs that need a home. Obviously not all police handlers can just keep all their dogs in
Right.
the past. So certainly reach out to your local police force.
Right.
Even there was one I get sent the other week that said they took a German Shepherd for training when it was young, and it was too cute. So it wouldn't chase anybody. It was just too cute. So does anybody want a home for it?
That's a hard thing to be labelled with, isn't it? Being too cute.
So if we can take on a retired or a dog that's failed one of their exams, it's well worth doing.
I think we spoke to somebody yesterday and they were talking about, was it guide dogs as well? Sometimes
Yep.
they fail. You
We
don't
wo-
expect them to fail, but they
No,
do.
you'd think how important a guide dog is, but yeah, we hear so many stories of guide dogs just saying, I don't want to guide you
Don't
anymore.
want to do it. And is that from puppydom as such, or is it that they just giving signs that they're not interested, or like herself, at some point you just go, I'm done.
Yep,
Yeah.
throughout the age.
Yeah. And in the majority of the dogs, they're spaniels, German shepherds. Do you see any other breeds of dogs as police dogs?
They have Labradors, German Shepherds, as say spaniels. It depends what the dog is and what their job role is.
Right.
So if you look in the fire service, they use a lot of spaniels because they've got great sense.
Can you explain some of the other jobs that they do apart from detection work? What other jobs do dogs do in the services?
So we can have, for example, fire service. So they'll find what is the source of ignition, what chemicals we use to cause a fire,
Right.
which then can help build a case up to somebody who's had an arson attack or something. We use our dogs for finding people.
You were explaining earlier that, hello, beautiful. I had treats earlier, that's why she wants to come to me. Sorry, you were saying earlier about an amazing case where a dog was used to identify somebody under the water.
Yes, so they had a boat and they were on a river where they suspected a body was under, which they couldn't find. And they put the dog on the front of the boat and they were followed by the indications of the dog where it was looking. And then they stopped the boat when the dog sort of looked down and they found a corpse.
Is there anything else
underwater
that amazes you about the police dogs, that you've got stories like that they've detected things that we are surprised by how intelligent, how they can scent these things?
I think sometimes they just don't switch off.
Right.
So there was one retired police dog, which was a German Shepherd. He was a general purpose dog, which he does search as well as everything else. And he just had spinal surgery.
Right.
And as they were doing short walks, he was indicating and found a homeless person in need that was stuck in a bush.
Right. So
they rescued him as well, even though the dog had retired.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. That they're still on, they're still switched on. Maybe
Yeah.
they shouldn't be. Maybe they should be retired, but in that case, what would have happened?
Exactly, the person would never have been found.
No, exactly. So, so they go to their local police. There isn't one website that is for all adoption of retired
I'd go
dogs?
to your local police.
Your local police. Do all police have dogs? All the police departments, as in around the
I would
country?
probably say around the country, yes.
Right. Okay.
Because they're such a good item to have and use.
Yeah, and they're used for obviously criminals and marches, because obviously we see the horses.
Yep.
Do the dogs get used in marches and
Yep,
riots?
dogs are on there as well, yeah.
They are, okay. And I assume some of the injuries are kicks or injuries by knives. What else have you heard?
There can be many different things.
Right.
Obviously, if Izzy was a drugs dog, you've got to think her nasal capacity, sniffing drugs all the time, isn't going to be good for her health. When I was learning to do pet first aid, we had somebody who said they were using their dog, they scented a load of drugs, but the drug bag was open and the dog had his head in the bag of drugs.
Right.
So the drug was a little bit more lively than normal.
Yeah, yeah. And when you see them at the, and it's very tempting to want to go and see a dog that's working, isn't it? And at least saying hello to it. But when you're at the airports, they're like, leave us alone. And it's hard not to want to go to these dogs, but we have to be disciplined as well not to.
Yes.
It's tough. So can you tell us about where people can find out more about your business?
So if you come to our stall, we're in the place across the way. We've got leaflets about our pet first aid. We do them very, very cheap. You can see our dogs in action and you can actually use our dogs. They just love the attention.
Yeah.
Love being bandaged up like mummies. And just check our website. You'll see pieces of Izzy being on ITV and BBC from last year. They're on there as well.
And the founder of the NFRSA, do you want to tell us about Lady Bathurst? You've met her and deal with her.
So Lady Bathurst used to be a Royal Sheriff back in 2017. And then she realised, working with all the services, that there was actually no help and support with them.
Right.
So she tried to work out a best way to get things to happen. And in 2022, she decided to open her organisation.
And as we were saying with the numbers, pledged over 275,000 in that time. And that's only through donations, isn't it?
Yes.
So if people want to get involved with the charities here today, then go along, speak with yourself on your stand. Please go and meet Izzy.
Yep, have your photograph with her.
And I just want to say thank you so much for being here today, telling us about Izzy. We wish you years of love with her, because you've got lots of time with her still. How old is she now?
She's 8.
8 years old, so
they'll last until about 15.
15. Didn't hear that, Izzy, did you?
So she's got many years with us.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time today. Just say big thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to Izzy. What's going on? Yeah, it's all about you, isn't it? So if you'd like to meet Izzy, please go ahead over to the Sydney suite and go and learn more about the NFRSA and speak and talk with Paul and Izzy. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you so much.